students, I think we can start the class now, right? Okay, so let's start today's class. In the last class, what we were discussing was we were talking about the nucleus, right? We were discussing the different cell organelles that are present inside a cell. At our episode, we were discussing about the nucleus. We have completed the nucleus and we have started with the part called as chromosomes, right? Chromosomes are introduction as far as who gave the term, right? What is a chromosome? Basically, a brief idea as to how it looks like. It consists of what, right? At a brief idea, আমি করেছিলাম. Today we'll start the class with, I think last class itself we have written the topic. It is the structure of the chromosomes, right? So heading koriba structure of the chromosomes. And then we have to draw a diagram.
Hello, ma'am.
Hmm.
Ma'am, my structure of chromosome.
Oh, first. Just starting.
white portion kini matrix hoy no?
Major Peter, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So we are writing the different parts. Let's write it down and then we talk about it. Okay, just few parts. If you're talking about the structure of the chromosome, in the last class we have drawn the structure, no? At a rough structure, we have talked about what is a centromere, what is a chromatid. These are the things that we have already completed. Talking about the structure of the chromosome, something like this. A2 chromosome, obviously we have shown two constriction, the primary constriction and the secondary constriction. Not necessary where each and every chromosome secondary constriction থাকিব. Only few chromosomes show the development of the secondary constriction. So normally if we talk about a chromosome has two arms that are called as chromatids and they are attached in a point that is called as a centromere. আৰু যোনটো পইণ্টত নেৰো হৈ পেলাই centromere portionটোক আমি কি বুলি কওঁ primary constriction বুলি কওঁ কিন্তু এইটো chromosome if you have noticed we have seen two narrow space that is the primary constriction and the secondary constriction. Talking about chromatid, last class we have done. Now we come to chromonema. What is chromonema? This highly coiled filaments, no? They are called as chromonema. A filaments got certain bead-like structure. A dots dekha paba, right? A bead-like structures these are called as chromomere. So question ahead, bead-like structures in the chromosome are called as these are called as chromomere. এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ bead-like structure কিহৰ কাৰণে form কৰিছে due to condensation of the chromatin material. So ultimately কি হ'ব যে তাত থকা যোনখিনি DNA sequence থাকে thread-like structures থাকে সেইবিলাক কি হয় condensed হৈ পেলাই এটা জেগাতে accumulate হোৱা নিচিনা and so ultimately we see these beads-like structures and that is what is called as chromonoma and chromomere, and they are believed to be the location of the genes. As far as genes, location is concerned, genetics class of so nothing in details in this class. So just to have a rough idea, it looks something like this. 18 part whole likha.
No, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, centromere আৰু kinetochore difference কি হয়?
Centromere আৰু kinetochore difference হ'ল centromere is the constricted area দুটা chromosome suppose এইটো এটা chromatid এইটো এটা chromatid যোনখিনি জেগাত লাগি থাকে তাক আমি কি বুলি কওঁ centromere, right? এই centromere টোত কি থাকে যে it is covered by a disc shaped structure তাক আমি কি বুলি কওঁ kinetochore. মানে ultimately we know centromere কি হয় spindle fiber during cell division লাগি যাব কিন্তু centromere নালাগি পেলাই this shape structure that covers the centromere that is called as the kinetochore আৰু spindle fibers that called as kinetochore. So ইয়াতে যেহেতু kinetochore টো দেখাইছে exactly centromere টো দেখা নাই so obviously inside this knob is called as the centromere.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. At least first point to hoise sake. Centromere এইখিনিতে তুমি কি বুলি ক'ব পাৰা centromere টো তুমি মাৰ্ক কৰি দিব পাৰা Next, we are talking about the centromere. Centromere is the point of attachment of the two chromatids, and they are also called as primary constriction. Eta chromosome দুটা arm থাকে, the two arms are called as chromatids. Not necessary in each and every chromosome the two arms would be equal, right? So as far as this diagram is concerned, obviously etu eta chromatid, but both the chromatids are not symmetrical, right? So chromosomes of the symmetrical chromatids যে থাকিব not necessary, কিন্তু কিছুমান chromosomes of symmetrical chromosomes chromatids থাকে, where both the arms of the chromosome are exactly equal. But in this diagram, obviously, it is different, right? So, what is the centromere? দুটা chromatid যোনটো পইণ্টত attached হয়, that area is called as the centromere. আৰু যিটো পইণ্টত attached হ'ব, that obviously is a narrow area, and that narrow area is also called as primary constriction. So, what is primary constriction? Nothing but that area of the centromere is called as primary constriction. Now, as I have said, not necessary the arms কেইটা equal হ'ব, কিছুমানত equal হ'ব, কিছুমানত equal নহয়. And accordingly, we have two terms, isobrachial আৰু heterobrachial. আমি লিখিম. Just go through this point. Are the two terms clear? Isobrachial or heterobrachial? Once you are done, please tell me. Is it over?
Ma'am,
Hmm.
structure of a chromosome যে দিছে হেতুটো ইয়াত যে স্যাটেলাইট আছে তেনেহলে এটো হেটেৰো
Hmm.
ব্ৰেকিয়াল ক্ৰোমোজোম হৈ যাব ন
নহয় অকল চেটেলাইটটো কাৰণেই নহয় ঠিক আছে এটা ক্ৰমোজোম নৰ্মেলি ক্ৰমোজোম বিলাকৰ প্ৰাইমেৰী কনষ্ট্ৰাকচন সেকেন্ডাৰী কনষ্ট্ৰাকচন প্ৰত্যেকডাল ক্ৰমোজোমৰে দুইটা কনষ্ট্ৰাকচন নাথাকে কিছুমান ক্ৰমোজোমৰহে সেকেন্ডাৰী কনষ্ট্ৰাকচন থাকে সো উই আৰ নট কনসিডাৰিং দ্য সেকেন্ডাৰী কনষ্ট্ৰাকচন পাৰ্ট নৰ্মেল ক্ৰমোজোম বুলি ক'লে দুডাল ক্ৰোমাটিড থাকে আৰু তাহাঁতৰ এটা প্ৰাইমেৰী কনষ্ট্ৰাকচন থাকে in normal cases special case of secondary constriction so we are discussing the normal chromosomes no so normal chromosome or যোন দুডাল chromatid থাকে দুইডাল chromatid যদি equal হয় no তেতিয়াহলে isobrachial কম যদি দুইডাল equal নহয় তেতিয়াহলে আমি heterobrachial কম in this diagram also if you just don't see if you just neglect this part okay এইটো part নাচাই পেলাই if you are considering this part only as one chromosome this arm is comparatively larger or bigger as compared to this arm, right? Etu chromatid ডাঙৰ, etu chromatid সৰু. So obviously this chromosome is an example of a heterobrachial chromosome. Secondary construction থাকিলে তো হেতু চোৱা. Secondary construction is the special case. Normal chromosomes আমি isobrachial, heterobrachial কেতিয়া use কৰিম? যদি chromatid equal, তেতিয়াহলে isobrachial, যদি chromatids বিলাক not equal in length, তেতিয়াহলে heterobrachial. আৰু isobrachial হ'ব নে heterobrachial হ'ব depending on what depending on the position of the centromere আমি অলপ পিছত পঢ়িম the different types of chromosomes according to the position right so depending centromere to ক'ত আছে accordingly the chromosome would be isobrachial or it would be heterobrachial is it clear বুজি পালা নে বস্তুটো
yes ma'am
is this part over centromere হৈ গ'ল ন
Yes, ma'am.
okay let me go to point number 5 kinetochore, the disc-shaped protein structure in and around the centromere is called as kinetochore. It is that area where the spindle fibers during the process of cell division attach. Next, we are talking about telomere. If you see, this part is called as the telomere. What is telomere? The tip of the chromosome is called as telomere or the end of the chromosome. Mm-hmm. Please say.
मैम स्प्लिंटर फाइबर अटैच के बाद क्या लिखे हैं?
Here. Uh-huh. I cannot hear the
स्प्लिंटर
question
फाइबर
properly.
अटैच
Please
के
repeat.
बाद क्या?
Yeah, spindle fiber attacher. You want to know the meaning of that line?
अटैच के बाद क्या लिखे हैं?
Uh-huh.
সি সুধি আছে এটেচৰ পিছত কি লিখিছে
Or attacher piece of key. Here, H-E-R-E. Or here to multiply in the cantilever. Spindle fiber attached here. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, telomere points likhi asilo. So what is the telomere? The tip of a chromosome is called as the telomere, right? Each and every chromosome has a distinct telomere, right? And that telomere or that part is cytologically different. তার মানে normal যোনটো chromosome constituents হয় যিবিলাক proteins থাকে যিবোৰ chemical components থাকে তাতকে অকমান বেলেগ, it's slightly different from the rest of the chromosomes, right? And this difference in the telomere makes it unique. And another function of this is because of this difference in the chemical components of the telomere, this prevents the other chromosomes that is present inside the nucleus to get attached with each other. So we know that inside the nucleus we have the genetic material that is called as chromatin. The chromatin will contain, ultimately they will form chromosomes. These chromosomes are all separated from each other and they do not remain accumulated or attached with each other. Right. So what happens is that telomere, that tip of the chromosome, is cytologically different. It is made up of certain different chemical components. Apart from the rest of the body, it makes us distinct, and that's the reason why the other chromosomes doesn't get attached to each other. Right. Next question kya hai? The tip of a chromosome is called as what? This is one point that you need to remember. In the telomere, you see certain type of bases, nucleotides, nucleosides. I think this is something that you have already read in your genetics class. So guanine, thymine, cytosol, uracil, এনেকুৱা চাৰিটা base আছে, right? তাৰ ভিতৰত guanine আৰু thymine is something that is present in the telomere. So nothing much to remember. খালি tip of the chromosome মনত ৰাখিবা and rich in.
মেম গুৱানিন কি থাইমিনৰ লগত বন্ড বনায়
হা, triple bonding থাকে. DNA sequence কৰিছা নেকি?
হাইড্ৰচিনৰ লগত কৰিছিলে নেকি বন?
থাকে
তাতেতো সাইটোচিনৰ লগত কৰিছিল ন, ইয়াতেতো এইটো পাৰ্ট তোমাৰ কি হয় যে এইটো অকমান তোমাৰ সাইটোলজিক্যালি ডিফাৰেন্স ন.
ওকে
Right? So rest of the chromosome, okay, this part would be little bit different from the rest of the body. Next. এইখিনি লিখি লোৱা, then we are going to talk about that. Nucleolar organizer region. Is this over?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we have an area called as NOR. What is NOR, Katlika? Right? So we have an area called as NOR. This is nothing but the secondary constriction part. Because this area is called as NOR. Right? Secondary constriction. What is NOR? Secondary constriction containing genes which code for RNA, and this is what induces the formation of the nucleus. In the last class, when we were talking about the nucleus, no? Nucleus or inside the nucleus, we have talked about the membrane, inside it, genetic the chromatin network, and তাতে এটা dense area দেখা পাইছিলো, and that was what was called as the nucleus, right? Hey, nucleus, when we were studying, what we said is, it depends on cell to cell as far as the number of nucleus is concerned. Not necessarily এটা nucleus of এটা nucleus থাকিব, right? Depending on the requirement for protein synthesis, তাহাঁতৰ nucleus বোৰ number to বাঢ়ি বাঢ়ি গৈ থাকিব. Now the point is, where will you find the nucleus, right? বা কোনে nucleus to form কৰিবলৈ help কৰো? It is this chromosome with the secondary constriction, right? And that is what is called as nucleolar organizer region. So NOR is associated with secondary constriction of the chromosome. Clear?
আমি এইটো বুজি পোৱা নাই, induced formation of nucleus.
Yes, ma'am.
Induces formation of nucleolus means what? As I said, no, in one cell it will have one nucleus. Inside the nucleus, how many nucleolus will be present? প্ৰথমতেতো এটা নিউক্লিয়াসে আছিলে তাৰপিছত কি হল if that cell is involved with rapid protein synthesis তেতিয়াহলে তাহাঁতৰ কি লাগিব যে নিউক্লিয়াস বেছিকে লাগিব so বেছিকে লাগিলে কোনোবাইতো ফৰ্ম কৰিব লাগিব Are you understanding? Whenever we draw the structure of a nucleolus কেইটা দেখাও এটাই দেখাও right that does not mean that one nucleus will always have one nucleolus it depends on the activity of the cell right so নতুনকে যদি nucleolus লাগে if the cell demands the presence of more nucleolus who will form the nucleolus কোনে form কৰিব it is at NOR where the nucleolus would be formed সেইখিনি জেগাতহে nucleolus টো form কৰিব আৰু NOR মানে কি nothing but the secondary construction of the chromosome so এই portion টোক আমি এটা সবা তিনটা টার্ম আছে এটা হল secondary construction we understood second is we'll use a word called as satellite and the other is it is also called as NOR why it is called as NOR কারণ it is in this part where you will see the nucleolus কোনখিনি জেগাত nucleolus টো form কৰিব it is in the nucleolar organizer region যোনটো regionত form কৰিব that is called as nucleolar organizer region who will determine that region it is the secondary construction of the chromosome clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Next point number 8 is satellite right so if a chromosome has a secondary construction because of secondary construction the area that is formed is called as satellite is the word satellite understood
Yes, ma'am.
So the rounded body separated from the rest of the constitution by secondary, sorry, the rounded body separated from the rest of the chromosome by secondary constriction is called as satellite, right? Our junবিলাক chromosomes are satellite থাকে, they are called as what? Set chromosome. Just as an example, at a point হিসাবে আমি কি লিখিছো, in case of humans, right? Out of the three pairs, 5 pairs are set chromosomes. 5 pairs of chromosome, but the octal chromosome কি থাকিব? You see the presence of satellite. And to be precise, what is the number? কোনবিলাক number বা which number? 13 chromosome, 14 chromosome number wise তাহাঁতৰ থাকিব. Now from examination point of view, as far as the number is concerned, not important. Question কেতিয়াও সোধা নাই যে satellite chromosome number in case of humans determine the number. তেনেকে নালাগে, খালি জানিব লাগিব যে what is the set chromosome and maximum. The question could be asked, actually আহাই নাই তেনেকুৱা question, কিন্তু তথাপিও এবাৰ আহিছিলে যে how many pairs are present in humans as far as set chromosome is concerned. So there are 5 pairs of set chromosomes. So this is all about the structure of the chromosome. Who forms the chromosome? Chromosome কোনে form কৰে? The chromatin network forms the chromosome. Right? Chromosome কেতিয়া form কৰে and আমি কেতিয়া দেখা পাওঁ? During the process of cell division. Right? Before cell division, before a cell starts division, can we see chromosomes? No, because the genetic material remain in the form of a chromatin, or remain in the form of a network or thread-like structure that is called as chromatin. Divide কৰা সময়তে যেতিয়া condense কৰিব তেতিয়াহে আমি properly chromosome টো দেখা পাম. Right? And as far as the structure is concerned, this is a brief idea about the structure of our chromosome. Is it clear?
Last point নকৰিব.
Next, we have to write certain points. If this is over, points fully heading কৰিবা. হল নেকি এইটো লিখা?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll write certain points regarding chromosomes. As far as different species are concerned, their chromosome number will be different.
ম্যাম একটু বুঝে না পারো ম্যাম 2n - 4 না ইকুয়াল টু 4
2n equal to 4
ওকে
বুজি পোৱা নাই ন না পাইছা
পাইছো ম্যাম মই মাইনাস বুলি ভাবিছো এখানে
নাই 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 twice n equal to 4 So the number of chromosomes varies from species to species. In case of plants, we have to remember the least number of chromosomes is founded and the highest number of chromosomes is founded. Generally, the question has been asked about this point and not about this point. It is iman basi frequently asked question নহয়. Right? Haplopapers gracilis, least number of chromosomes and highest number of chromosomes in case of Ophioglossum. I think you remember Ophioglossum. What is Ophioglossum? Nothing but a fern. It is also called as Adler's tongue fern. Right? And obviously it is a heterophyte. So, এই দুটা point লিখি লোৱা, we'll write some more points. Nothing to explain. These are just some simple things that you have already read about all this. Just write it down.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
commonly X type and Y type লিখে কিবা বেলেগ টাইপো থাকে নেকি?
No, no. Commonly, no, in case of some other organisms, naming of that chromosome would be different. Sex chromosome সদায় X chromosome denote কৰিব বা Y chromosome.
Ma'am,
Sex
ZW
chromosome
কথা
কেইটাৰ
কৈছো।
নাম. Oh, yes. এইবোৰ তোমালোকে জেনেটিক্সত পঢ়িছা ন? ৰসফিলা,
Oh, yes,
ফসফিলা সেইবিলাকত.
yes, ma'am, yes.
হ'ল?
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Next, point number 4. Point number 4 talks about the function of a chromosome. Function of a chromosome কি? Basic function.
Carries genes.
Yeah, very good. So these are the points. Simple points. Right. Point number 4 to function বুলি লিখিব পাৰো. So these are the different points. Since we are talking about chromosomes, a points kita ami পঢ়িব লাগিব. তাৰ ভিতৰত maximum question has been asked about that highest number of chromosomes that is seen in. Opioglus hamar example to ami জানিব লাগিব. So today, until here, what we have done is we have talked about the structure of the chromosome and certain points and informations regarding chromosomes. The next part of the lesson, we have to study about types of chromosomes. So if this is over, types of chromosomes heading to it.
Ma'am, আজি doubt class হ'ব নেকি?
Now, next.
Okay, ma'am.
Is this over? Hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
So next, likha types of chromosomes. What likha? The shape of a chromosome depends upon types of chromosomes. Oh yes, when we are talking about the shape, means what? When we are talking about types of chromosomes, Junkita type poem, right? That all those types would have a specific shape, and according to the shape, they are given that terms. Yes, so the shape of a chromosome depends upon the position of the centromere. Right? And on the basis of this, few common shapes are so depending on where where is the centromere or what is the position of the centromere in a chromosome. Centromere বুলি ক'লে what we remember that দুটা chromatids থাকে, both the two chromatids remain attached at a point, that is called as the centromere. As I said before, not necessary the centromere will lie always in the middle portion or in the mid portion. If the centromere lies in the mid portion, exactly মাজত যদি থাকে, then both the chromatids would be almost of the same or equal length. But depending on the position of the centromere, as we have discussed the two terms, isobrachial and heterobrachial হ'ব পাৰে. Depending on that, we have different types of chromosomes, that is metacentric, heterocentric, telocentric, etc., etc. But metacentric, সেইবিলাক আমি types চাম. One very important portion that you have to study from examination point of view is এইটো portion of the diagrams that are given in your NCERT book. So please, ইয়াতে side-তে নহয় বা ইয়াতে ক'বাত এইটো লিখি থবা. Diagrammatic based questions ahead. Diagram to read and you have to identify which type of a chromosome it is. Either it's metacentric, ne telocentric, ne ectocentric, ne acentric, right? So diagrams kira tapra file ba. As far as information is concerned, when we talk about a metacentric chromosome, tat ami ki likhim? So 18, that's just few informations about this. So यार question केने क्या है? Question है A duta word of word. If the centromere lies in the middle, it is called as. But in case of a metacentric chromosome, the centromere lies in the middle. This is one point that you study. And what is the shape of the metacentric chromosome? The metacentric chromosome looks like or is a V-shaped structure. মানে একটা rough diagram টা আঁকিলে right? Duita equal V shape. This is called as metacentric. But for the diagrams, please refer to your NCERT book. It is naam gita morat rakhibo লাগিব. So diagram to be and you have to identify B type dekile, you have to say that it's a metacentric chromosome. And if it has to be metacentric, then obviously the centromere lies in the middle. This is the arm, this is another arm of the chromosome. Is the part understood?
Yes, ma'am.
The next is submetacentric. Submetacentric slightly away from the center, right? And obviously this is important. E shape. V shape যদি হয়, it is called as metacentric. L shape যদি হয়, it is called as submetacentric. Is it over?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, number 3, acrocentric. ACRO. So this is acrocentric. Acrocentric is J-shaped, right? One arm very small, and other arm is very long. So key shape palu, V shape palu, L shape palu, and next we are talking about J-shaped. Accordingly, the different names. I think it's over. And finally, we have the last shape according to the centromere. Telocentric chromosome. This is the fourth one, that is telocentric, and telocentric ki hoga, it is I shape. So we have talked about the different types of chromosomes. I shapes. Right? So if the centromere is at the tip of the chromosome, then the shape they obtain is almost like an eye, and so that is what is called as the eye-shaped chromosome. And the name is called as telocentric. So these are the 4 different types of chromosomes as far as the position of the centromere is concerned. In a normal chromosomes, in case of eukaryotes, we see 2 types of chromosome. One set is called as autosomes and the other is called as sex chromosomes. Into on the basis of the position of the centromere, we see these 4 different types of chromosomes. Right? So, a portion important. আমি terms বিলাক চাম, diagram কেইটা চাম আৰু the shape they obtain VLI আৰু VLJNI. So এইকেইটা বস্তু আমি চাম. Together with this, we have another point. এইখিনি হ'ল ন? Right? Not necessarily chromosome centromere থাকিব. Special chromosome, কিছুমান chromosome centromere নাথাকে, and that is what is called as acentric chromosome. So since we are talking about chromosomes, general information about chromosomes or normal chromosomes of this is all that we have to study. Next part of the lesson, we have to talk about some special types of chromosomes. Right? If you have gone through the NCERT book, special type of chromosomes or information and what are the 2 special chromosomes we are talking about? We are talking about the salivary gland chromosome or lamb brush chromosome. Right? Salivary gland or information, lamb brush or information. But this is a part that we'll do it in the next class. So special chromosomes would be the heading for the next class, and together with that, the last part of the lesson, that is cell inclusions. Right? So I mean, cell since the chapter itself is cells, we have been discussing the cell from the very beginning, and from each and every part we have discussed, starting from the cell wall, the cell membrane, right? Inside the cell membrane, the protoplasm, what is cytoplasm, etc., etc. The cell organelles that it contains, the different organelles, details right? And apart from the organelles, chromosomes, it all comes within that nucleus study, right? So apart from the organelles, we also have certain inclusions. Cell inclusions ki asile? Have you heard the word called the cell inclusions?
Yes, ma'am.
So we need to talk about that part also, right? Kisuman cell inclusions would be like dead materials, kisuman deposition inside the cell that are not the living content, no? Cell inclusions. So in the next class, I think that will be the last class of this chapter. So we'll be talking about special chromosomes and cell inclusions. And that's all for today. Kiba doubts are still
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, acentric chromosome chromatid etai thakibo no?
Etai thakibo. You don't see 2 arms.
Aru ma'am, telocentric chromosome kere thakibo?
Telocentric or dutai thakibo, kintu it appears when you see it from a distance, it looks as if it has 1. যেহেতু centromere আছে, centromere থাকাৰ কাৰণে এটা 2টা part থাকিবই লাগিব, কিন্তু 2টা পাৰ্টৰ টিপছত আছে, এখান দূৰৰ পৰা it looks like eye.
Okay ma'am. Ma'am মানে এটা chromatid বহুত সৰু?
হা, একদমেই সৰু.
Okay ma'am, বুজিছো.
ঠিক আছে? Any more? Okay, so I would like to repeat again. Please go through the diagrams that is given in your NCERT book. If you have some space in your copy, I would advise you all to draw the diagrams. Ever practice to and you'll remember also. Okay. So thank you for today. We'll meet on the next class.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.